Well, we are pretty confident with the way we've been playing. We've won 10 out of our last 11 games, and we're taking some good momentum into the World Cup. The Asia Cup was a good preparation for us for a big tournament, getting the feel of playing against the big teams. But this is going to be far more challenging. You have teams from all over the world competing, and if you look at both the groups, the teams are very strong, very evenly matched, and yeah, it's going to be tough. But we would like to focus on our strengths. The oppositions do not matter for us so much at this stage. Obviously, we need to understand the strengths and weaknesses of the opposition players, but it's more to do with the way we have played and continue the same way, and probably try to execute the same things that we have done, which has got us success. Well, it's a big event. The whole feel and the vibe is different from a bilateral series. We all have experienced that before, so it's nothing new. I think the key is to learn from the past, where calmness is required in big tournaments like the ICC events, because you can get sort of carried away or over anxious or over excited. Both those feelings are not great for any side going into big tournaments. So the learnings that we have from playing in these big events in the past is just to stay as calm as possible, and as I said, focus on skills that need to be executed on the field. There can be a lot of focus shifting in terms of watching other oppositions play on rest days and stuff like that. So it's very important to stay away from all those things. Focus on what the team is doing, not focus on whether someone's going to lose or win for your team to go through. Those sort of things can be big distractions which people do not understand. Once you get involved in watching a game, you can actually be so involved that you forget to do what you have to do for your preparation. So I think there has to be a good balance between everything. So I think awareness counts big time in big tournaments. So does calmness. Well, it's tough. I mean, I can totally understand. Because I batted three. I have much more opportunity than some other people in the side, and I consider all those things before people make comparisons of runs being scored or who has had an impact in the tournament. Because if you're not getting to play as many balls, obviously you won't score as many runs. So we all sort of respect that amongst each other. We do not try to neglect anyone. We do not focus on 2-3 people only. Our focus is on the whole batting order, and it is difficult, but it requires that sense of team bonding, where people say that I'm happy to contribute for the team, whatever stage I go into the game with. It's very easy to get desperate and wanting to perform yourself and get some runs under the belt. In that course, you start getting desperate or disappointed if you get out a couple of times just because you had 7-8 balls to face. I think the feeling that has to creep in to win major tournaments is that I'm happy to contribute even 7-8 runs in 3 balls if my team requires me to do so. That could be a bigger impact than a guy scoring 80 and slowing down in the end. A guy coming in and playing a cameo of 5-6 balls for 15-20 runs could be the difference. So I think that sort of mindset helps in staying in the zone. As Shikhar has himself mentioned, his role is pretty clear to go out there and play his natural game. Try to take on the first 6 overs and take on the fielding restrictions. Rohit, again, me and him sort of think on the same lines of assessing the situation and seeing where your partner is going or what's he playing like, who's hitting the ball better. So I think we have been able to bring in awareness when we have batted in the first 10-12 overs, which obviously helps the side build totals or chase totals down, because you need to be aware of what's happening, how the other guy is hitting the ball, whether you need to take a backward step or you need to sort of go out there and dominate. It's very important to stay aware in a T20 game, because you can tend to sort of have a rush of blood and go for a big shot, and the team might totally go down the slide from there on. So I think it's very important to be aware every ball, and that's something that all three of us collectively have been able to do well in the past few series that we have played. Obviously, it'll be an added responsibility again to continue the same. As I said, the middle order hasn't gotten too much of an opportunity, so it's our responsibility to keep that momentum going and set up that base for the team, or probably chase totals down, whatever situation we are in. So I think it's the awareness that we have shown in the middle that has helped us perform consistently in the past few months.